Welcome to Social Exposure. This is a series on how to create exposure on your social media platforms. And today I want to break down how to package your genius. You have something that you're great at. Now I want to show you in this class how to package it and get someone to understand exactly what your genius is in 3 to 5 words. Let's go. So that's my intro until I get one. I keep saying it. I know someone's gonna give me an intro. I know. I feel it. Boy, oh boy. I'm sorry for the tardiness, but last night was pretty tough. Had some things going on, and this morning, just it carried over until last night. So, pardon. I really love you guys. I definitely should be canceling these classes. But, fortunately, I love this, man. I love pouring in, and it keeps my mind off of things. So, that's it. So I'm gonna be breaking down some dope stuff today. I got the chair now, I just had to sit down a little bit. Wanted to be comfortable. I'm gonna be trying a lot of different formats in this studio, seeing what works best and where I feel most comfortable at. Maybe sometimes I might stand up. I might put my vibe board on the board. I'm going to try some different things. But, we're just going to make it work, what we got, And this is dope. I love the social exposure series. And the first episode was all about how to be present online. You have this thing that you want to do, but the first step is being present. If you're not going to be present and make a commitment to yourself to be present, if you're not going to take that commitment, if you're not going to make that commitment, then what do we have, right? We don't have anything, right? But you have to be present. Like I told you, I have a friend that promised me he was going to post on Monday. He has still yet to post. And I'm telling him, all these dope things you're doing, all these dope things you're creating, if you're not present online, it means nothing. Like you could be the best kept secret, right? But if no one knows you, you'll always be that best kept secret. So it's all about exposing. That's why I call it exposure. Exposing that secret of yours. You have a great secret and you want to get it out to the world. So being present is the first thing. Now, the next part of this series is packaging your genius. So let me tell you a quick little story about how important packaging is. We had InvestFest a couple years ago. We were selling this offer, right? We created an offer, and it was an amazing offer. We surveyed like 10, 15 successful entrepreneurs and was trying to figure out, was it a great deal? What things should we take away? What things should we add? And everyone, after we came with all the different things we wanted to add, it was a really great offer, right? And we felt like we had something. And during InvestFest, on the floor, we don't sell from stage, but we have an EYL booth and we have an InvestFest booth. So if you want a deal going forward, if you want a special deal for InvestFest or EYL University, you're always gonna get the best deal at that desk. So go visit the desk this year at InvestFest at the vendor booth. You'll always get the best deal, right? So, but this is how valuable packaging is. We came up with this package and we presented this package, right? We called it the EYL Elite, right? That's what we called it. And we spoke to probably 2,000 to 3,000 people, and we only sold 8 of those EYL Elite packages. And we knew it was a great package, right? But the issue is, if I told you the EYL Elite package in 3 to 5 words, do you understand what that is, right? You don't really know what it is, right? I have to explain it to you. And that is the issue with people when they make offers. They create these great offers, but I don't know what it is within 3 to 5 words, right? And we changed the packaging, we changed the name of the product, the offer, and we called it the lifetime package, right? We called it the lifetime package. the lifetime package, right? 2 words changed everything. Once we called it the lifetime package, right, it automatically knew it was a lifetime deal, right? Or we called it the lifetime deal, whatever it was, right? But the main word was lifetime. Lifetime InvestFest, lifetime EYL University, lifetime Red Panda, lifetime, right? We knew that it was lifetime. Same exact thing as EYL Elite, but we said in the packaging that it was lifetime. And once you change those 2 words, we went from selling 8, at InvestFest to a few days later selling 300. But that's the thing, and that's what I want to break down to you. It's so much in the packaging. If you package your offer correctly, you are going to see great results. Just because something didn't sell well, before you take apart the offer, before you change things, go look at the packaging. How was it presented to your audience? Maybe your audience didn't understand what the offer was really about. And that's what it was with us. Our audience didn't realize what they were getting. And once we put that lifetime deal in there, that changed the naming, it went up. So I'm gonna break down a couple of things in this episode on how to do packaging the right way. If you guys are ready, if y'all with me, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. This is gonna be a great class. I studied this dude, Omar L. something. He's on YouTube. He does a really good job at packaging. So this is kind of in reference to him. Like, he does an amazing job at presenting offers, like packaging his YouTube, his titles, his thumbnails. So let's get into it. Fraz is in the building. Siobhan's in the building. Where's my man Ken? All right. I don't know about you guys, man. All right, so I like this. All right, let's get it popping. How y'all feeling today? Hope y'all feeling better than me. All right. So I want to break down 4 levels of clarity, right? 4 levels of getting the difference of a specific and an outcome versus vague and don't really know, right? So if you think about it, right? Hold on. 1 second. Oh, what is up with my screen? Oh man. Put on there, just put on there. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, today is rough. All right, so 4 levels, right? It's 4 levels. Vague, and so a vague one would be improve your life. You've seen this slide, right? It attracts no one, right? It's just straight to the point. You don't really, what am I improving my life on? What are we talking about, right? And the thing is that it's too vague, right? But now that's level 1. That's what you would look at as level 1. Level 2, all right, you're getting a little better, right? The goal is to put all 3 of these levels into one title, and that's what you'll see at the end. But then level 2 is specific, right? Learn about marketing. Okay, now I know about marketing. You're being specific, right? And it has the category, but it doesn't have the outcome. But we're getting there. Learn about marketing. What are we marketing? Marketing for podcasts, marketing for plumbers, marketing for contractors, marketing for digital agencies. What are we marketing for? But you're being specific, but we don't have no outcome, right? We don't have the complete whole picture. And then you combine the outcome, grow your business, right? So now it's growing your business. That is an outcome. I'm going to tell you with a title, I'm growing your business, all right? but now we're not being specific. We have to kind of add those two things, right? So when you add all these different levels, you get to level 4. And level 4 is specific and outcome. Now, how does this title sound? Make your first 100,000 in 2026, right? I even gave you a timeline. I gave you your first 100,000. I was specific, and I gave you a timeline, and I gave you an outcome, right? So this is what we want to get to. We want to get to a clear outcome, a clear title, knowing that it has specific, what you're talking about, and an outcome. Are y'all with me? That is the goal. So clear communication drives better outcomes and higher impact. All right, now this is the specificity. I can't say that word. Principle, right? I don't know what's going on with me today. I apologize, but this is like you want to sell the destination, not the plane ride, right? Now, if this is my son, he might want to sell the plane ride because all he could remember is he got all those snacks on the plane ride. So he didn't care about, going to New York, because me and him flew to New York a few months ago. We flew to New York, and he said, Daddy, I can't wait to get back on the plane because I get all the snacks. You know what I'm saying? But we're not talking to, kids. We're talking to professionals. We're talking to people that are going to be spending money, right? So you don't want to sell the plane ride. You want to sell the destination, right? So look at this. This is more like learn how to use our software features, right? Versus ships projects 2 times faster, right? So now if I go with your particular software, now I see that it's gonna be 2 times faster than whatever I'm doing now. I'm getting to the destination. It's gonna save me 2 times the time, right? Understanding nutritional science. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? These titles are real. People are using these titles. But now if I be more specific and have an outcome, lose 10 pounds in 30 days, right? I had $10,000 in 30 days, right? Specific outcome, right? Join our community platform. Network with 500 plus CEOs. Doesn't that sound better? Network with 500 plus CEOs. You see the outcome. Are y'all with me? Let me make this a little small so I can see. Oh, Ken's here now? Oh, I don't see Ken. All right. All right, so let's talk about hook strategies, right? There's a couple of hook strategies that I want to go over, and hopefully I'm in it. There's a couple of hook strategies that I want to go over, and it's the contrarian edge, right? The brain ignores the expected, right? Like if you say like sell online courses, right? Versus don't sell online courses. It's almost like, it's a little drama. You got to put some drama into it, right? To get attention, you must create a cognitive dissonance by breaking the pattern, right? So it's disrupting what you're normally used to. So if you're used to seeing sell online courses and you put don't sell online courses, what are we talking about? That is going to change the algorithm in your brain, and your brain's automatically going to want to press go. Use AI more, right? You might just keep going, right? But if I said, stop using ChatGPT, what? I use ChatGPT every day. I got to see what this is. But these are good hooks. These are some things that are going to give you the edge versus other people, right? Hustle harder. Stop being busy. What? Stop. It breaks the algorithm. So that is a strategy number 1, right? And that's the contrarian, basically meaning you're breaking the pattern of being normal. You're thinking it's something that it's always going to be, and you're not. You change it to something that you're unexpectedly unaware of and not expecting, and you get it, and you're just like, whoa, right? So these are 2 different hook strategies. You got a promise, and then you got an aspiration, right? It's really this easy. This just works, right? It lowers the perceived effort, so you're automatically going to think this ain't gonna be too hard. This is gonna be pretty easy, right? And someone that doesn't want to work too hard, this might, hit with, right? But then you have the aspiration triggers that's gonna trigger your brain when you say, become a millionaire, the 7-figure brand, right? Those people that have aspirations, you're gonna connect with them, right? So you wanna somehow kind of have a mixture of two, right? You wanna have some type of promise, but you also wanna have a trigger where it triggers an aspiration. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? How many people we got in the chat? Okay, we got some eyeballs here. Okay. All right, so this is the 4-core formula. Y'all got to write this down. If you want I'm not going to keep giving y'all these presentations. Y'all gonna have to put y'all email in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to put y'all email in. All right, Jamal. I don't know which Jamal Thomas that is, but I don't know if it's I don't know. Shout out to 2019 too, you know what I'm saying? Philip Anthony Mitchell, one of the best passes moving, boy. That boy, he's the man. All right, so y'all gotta get a pen and pad for this because I'm gonna break down some science to y'all. All right, 4 core formulas, right? Number 1, the descriptor. The descriptor way to outcome. The descriptor way to outcome. We talked about outcome. Now we're going to be more detailed on the description, right? So what does this look like? The new way to make money online. The new way to make money online. The descriptor is the new way. The outcome is making money online. I got that? That's called the descriptor formula. It's 4 different formulas I'm going over. Number 2, the action plan. How to action in year and then qualifier, right? How to use AI first and win in 2026, right? That's the action and that's the year. The qualifier is what industry are you in? Are you in podcasting? Are you in multimedia? Whatever you're in, right? That would be the qualifier, the industry. So I'm qualifying the exact person I'm talking to. If you make $100,000 a year, that's a qualifier. That means like it would be something like how to use AI first and win in 2026. If you make for 100,000 for entrepreneurs that make $100,000, you got me. Number 3, the result source. Get results from source. Get results from source. What does that look like? Get rich off your 2026 salary, right? So I'm going to get rich. That's a result. And your source would be the 2026 salary, all right? That's number 3. And number 4, I want you to write these down because these are really important. These are really important playbooks that you need, and that's going to help you continue. The blueprint. This is what a lot of times people put, right? The outcome blueprint, right? And you always want to have some type of mixture of what you're going to be using, but this is the formula. This is the source right here. I can stop this video right after this. The outcome blueprint, right? It would be something like the personal brand blueprint for entrepreneurs, right? I told you the outcome, your personal brand blueprint, and then I said who it's for, entrepreneurs. Y'all with me? All right, so what's good? What's going on? Target everyone and someone at the same time, right? So look at this title. Make your first 100,000 beginner advice, right? So I said, make your first 100,000, right? And letting you know a qualifier, that qualifier thing, beginner advice. I'm talking to beginners. Someone that doesn't make 100,000, that's what I'm talking to. The main title, right? Make your 100,000 and broad appeal. It brings a broad appeal. But how do I make it specific, right? How I like put a parentheses on who I'm talking to, and I would put beginner advice. Does that make sense? This is going to give you higher click-through rate, from the right audience. Because if I know make your first 100,000 and I put in parentheses beginner advice, I know for a fact that someone making 100,000 already or that is doing great business already, they're not going to click on it. So I'm being specific to the audience I want to speak to. So when you do get those leads, you can really cherish those leads and generate more income through those leads, or get higher quality leads because you're getting higher quality clicks on the people that are going into that specific video or whatnot, right? All right, clarity versus curiosity. So this is something I've been testing a lot with the curiosity. Curiosity is working really well, right? Because a lot of times I give too much information too fast, and then they don't want any more. Like, so I have to keep them wanting more, right? You want to keep people wanting more, right? So this is what I call the click gap, right? Clear enough to understand, vague enough to need the click. Write that down. Clear enough to understand, vague enough to need the click. Are y'all with me? All right, so like, what would be a boring, boring and too clear? This video is about AI, right? That would be, a boring title, and, it would just be like, all right, this video is about AI. Versus confusing, right? Too curious, right? One secret changes everything, right? Now, how do we take these two different things and make this so much better, right? This would be the click gap. This is the gap between boring and confusing, right? Too clear and too curious. You want to put the new way to make money online. Sell them this. It gives a clear understanding of what the topic is. It gives a clear method, and it also leaves them curious because I put sell them this. What is this? What are we talking about, right? So that is going to give you, hope y'all writing this down. Y'all writing this down? Put a yes in the chat if y'all writing this down. Put a yes in the chat if y'all writing this down. All right, so let's package your offer, right? This is where you got your genius, you got the ideas in your head, what you really, really want to do, and this is how we package it, right? Name the result, not the clever idea. Name the result, not the clever idea. Monetization mastery program, right? Monetization mastery program. Whoa, this is too vague. Versus content to cash challenge. Irresistible, and it describes the outcome, and you can obviously you identify that it's content to cash, and it's a challenge, and it describes everything that I need. Versus monetization mastery program. I really don't understand. It's too vague, right? So, can a stranger understand the core benefit from the name alone? Can you understand what content to cash challenge means? Right off the bat, you probably can. Am I off the thing? Am I off the grid? So write that down. You want to think about, so right now I want you to think about an offer that you have, some genius that you have in your head, right? And what would be a great title? What is a stranger gonna be able to understand within 3 to 5 words of your offer? Content to cash challenge. It just totally makes sense, right? So this is the rule of 3. Benefits are stronger in triage, right? The rule of 3, write this down. 1, clarity, to move forward, right? To move forward, right? Clarity. You want to have clarity so they can move forward. If they don't have clarity on what you're speaking about or the title, they're never going to go to step 2, right? Then confidence, to take action, right? You want to have confidence. And then you want to instill systems to get results. Rhythm creates memorability, right? Rhythm creates memorability. Those are the 3 rules. 1 is clarity, 2 is confidence, 3 is systems. The rule of 3. So now that we went over all of these different concepts and these frameworks, right? I want to create a checklist. So get your pen and pad, right? And I want you to check this off, right? When you're creating this offer, you're creating a title, you're creating, a name for something. I want you to go through this checklist. It's a 5-point checklist. Is it under 3 to 5 chunks of info? Write that down. Is it under 3 to 5 chunks of info? That's the first thing. Number 2, Is it level 4 specific? Outcome and audience. Remember we talked about outcome, audience, and specific, right? We wanted to be specific, and we also wanted to have an outcome and audience who we're speaking to, right? That's what you want to ask yourself. Before you press publish, you want to go through this checklist. Does the hook use a pattern interrupt? Remember what I said about the pattern interrupt. Like, I sell AI, right? Don't use ChatGPT, right? You got that, right? And then, does the title use the core formula? You remember the four formulas we went to, right? That was the descriptor, the action plan, the result source, and the blueprint, right? And then the final thing is, does the offer name this destination? Does the offer name the destination? What do I mean? Content to cash challenge. I'm gonna make content and I'm gonna get cash from this challenge. Bing! You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want, right? And run this diagnostic before you hit publish. I'm gonna say it one more time. Run this diagnostic before you hit publish. And that is the class today. How y'all like that, man? Did y'all get, what was the one, put in the chat, what is one thing you picked up from this? Put in the chat one thing that you picked up from this. Put in the chat one thing you picked up from this, because, you know, like I said, I told the little story in the beginning on packaging is everything, right? You can have the best offer, you can have the best thing smoking, but if nobody could understand it, you're not going to move any product, any service, anything. And just think about when the elevator pitch, right? You have to, the elevator is what, less than a minute ride? You have to be able to explain what you do in that short period of time. Because if you can't explain, or they could see a video or a title or a name of an offer and it doesn't make sense in them first 3 to 5 words, you got to go back to the drawing board. So look at anything you're offering right now and maybe change a couple things and, you know, do the diagnostics and see what gap you're missing, what's going on if you're not selling it like you would like to. And it's gonna change everything. So I hope this class was good. You know, this is really important for you guys. So episode 3, this is episode 2. Episode 3, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. I love you guys. The Business Engine, if you're not a part of the Business Engine, you're not getting this good info. Unfortunate, but, you know, fortunate enough, I'm giving a monthly plan and I'm giving 7% off. Just use coupon code YouTube. I have to drop that in. I'm gonna drop that in like every class. I'm gonna stop in the middle and drop that in, right? Because we pumping over there at the Business Engine. And if you go to the site, I literally revamped the whole entire site. I did a bunch of different things. I added a bunch of different things. I got all the man. I've been smoking. Like I said, I made a promise to myself that I'm gonna put everything I got into this Business Engine, right? Because this is my purpose. This is my calling. I love doing it. I love pouring into people, and I'm gonna get this thing up to thousands of people, right? And the only way to do it is you gotta be all in, right? Once you are all in with what you want, someone else is gonna see that and they're gonna want to be all in, right? So, you know, success is addictive, right? It's contagious, right? So as you become successful, as you become growing, you're gonna attract other successful people or people that want to be successful, and what we're gonna form is a community, and that is the ultimate goal, to form a strong community. So by InvestFest 2026, I'm gonna have a army of people. You know what I'm saying? Of the engines. We're gonna be engine room. We're gonna be room up in the InvestFest. So thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Later.